Hi, and welcome back for the love of food. Today what I'm making is I'm making twice baked stuffed potatoes. So what we've done is we've taken 3 russet potatoes, we've washed them under cold water, and we put some olive oil and sea salt on them, put them into the oven for about, say 45 minutes on 400 degrees. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to hold the potatoes lengthwise and cut them right in half. What we're going to do is we're going to scoop out the inside and make our twice baked stuffed potatoes. So I did let these cool down for a little bit after they got out of the oven, so that way I could work with them, but they are still steamy hot in the middle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a spoon, and we got our bowl here. We'll turn around here. Okay, so we have our bowl and we have our potato, and we're just going to take the spoon and lightly scrape right down, but you want to leave a good amount of potato, maybe a 1/4 inch thick, on either sides, the bottom and around the middle there, because we still want to be able to eat the potato. We don't want just the skins. We're not making potato skins, we're making twice baked stuffed potatoes. So we're going to go ahead, and you can kind of see I left about the same width, and it's alright if you scoop one part. Don't try to fill it back up, just move it down to the next one. So we're going to do that to the rest of our potatoes here, and then I'll show you what we're doing with the filling. Alright, so we have our potatoes that we took all the insides out, and I just added some salt and pepper to this. What I'm also going to add is I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter, and I just lightly slice that up real thin, so that way the potatoes have enough time to kind of melt through and get that in there, get that good flavoring in there. I'm also going to add about a tablespoon, I'll do 2, almost 2 tablespoons of sour cream to that, and then we're going to mix this up with our mixer, so that way you can see that. Okay, so we got our electric mixer. You could also do this in the KitchenAid with the whip. You want to get the consistency really nice and thin. Make sure there's no lumps. It'll just help the potato taste better when you go to cook it. You could pipe the potato if you wanted to. So we're just going to go ahead and mix it up, and we'll see how the consistency looks. If we need to add maybe a splash of milk, we'll do that, but we'll see after we mix it up. Alright, so here's our consistency. We can kind of see that it's not creamy like we would like. It looks good for mashed potatoes, but I want that really smooth, creamy look to it. So I'm going to go ahead and add, let me try about a tablespoon of milk, and then what we'll also do is we'll do another, about a nice teaspoon of sour cream. And we'll mix that up and see how that looks. Alright, so I think we have the consistency that we're looking for. I'll show you. And here's the consistency we're looking for. I'm going to take the back of the spoon, and I'm just going to press against the potato. So I can see I need to whip it a little bit more, because I can kind of see a little bit of lumps. And what you want to do too is make sure to taste it. It's got very little lumps in it, but I'm going to whip it a little bit more and see how that comes out. But the good thing is now you get to taste the flavor. You know, do you want to adjust the salt and pepper a little bit? What I find sometimes I need to do is I add just a dash of grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese to the potatoes, and it comes out really good. So if you need that little bit of sweetness from the cheese, and then also you get the saltiness that you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that in, but I think I'm not going to add any more salt. I think the salt will give me what I was looking for out of the cheese, and then we'll start to put them back in our potato shells. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I just happen to have some green onions already chopped, so I thought it would be nice to add a little color to our twice baked potato. So I'm not going to use the blender, the mixer to mix that in. I'm just going to take my spoon and just lightly get those incorporated. So to fill the potato, you're just going to take a spoonful of filling, mashed potato, and put them right in. You can fill it to the top. You can, overfill it a little bit there. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to fill mine just lightly, and then I'm going to put the rest of it in a pastry bag with the star tip, and we're just going to make the design at the top, but I'm going to kind of swirl it over. So I'm just going to fill these with a little bit of potato. You can kind of see the depth there, and then we'll finish off with the rosette on the top. Got my filling in my bag. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you've ever decorated a cake, but we're just going to hold it lengthwise, and I'm going to make a swirl pattern. But I'm going to continuously do that throughout the top of the potato. And it's kind of like just making circles around, and then just never stop your piping bag. And I'll see if I can hold it a different way so you can kind of see the pattern we did. And we're going to do that to the rest of our potatoes. We're going to sprinkle them with paprika on the top, and then we're going to bake them again at, I would say, about 375 for about 15 minutes. And what we just want to do is we want to get the potato warm itself, because everything in it's already cooked. So we're just warming it, and then what we're looking for is we want to try to get a nice little crisp coloring on the top here. So we'll go ahead and do that. So, if you wanted to make these ahead of time, we're not having dinner here for a few hours, so I'm making these ahead of time so that way I can just throw them in the oven for the 15 minutes, and then they'll be done. I'm not trying to, scoop the potato, make the filling, stuff it, and then bake it, because that's so time sensitive to do it all at once. So the little parts that you can do to help yourself out is better, especially if you have the time to do it. So I'm going to finish piping these, and then I'm not going to cook them off until 15 minutes before we're ready to eat, but I will make sure to take pictures of the final product so you can see. Enjoy!